So I really enjoy this time of year, right in between Thanksgiving and Christmas, when there's just so much good food available, especially when it comes to sweets. There's different types of cookies, and everything's dipped in chocolate, and there's different types of breads and pies. And sometimes we cut these things into pieces, and maybe you know what it's like to walk up and you have found the last piece, and you know the joy of being right on the verge of being without, and instead you're leaving satisfied. Or maybe you actually know what it's like to walk up and to find an empty plate, that you were expecting something and instead you get nothing and you're left without. Well, in Ephesians chapter 4, Paul writes about this idea of maintaining unity. He says that we should be humble, we should be gentle with one another. And to do these sort of things, to maintain unity, is often going to require sacrifice in us. But what he goes on to say is that we maintain this unity by being unified under a Father. And this Father, he says in verse 7, has apportioned his grace, some goodness, to each of us. And I love this idea that he apportioned, that he went out and he specifically said, what do they need? And he cut it up so that everybody would have what they need. And he says he gave to each of us, which means that he specifically thought of us. There was nobody that was an afterthought, and you don't just get some leftovers. He says each of you gets what you need. He apportioned it for us. And so today, as we go into this devotional, and we think about this idea of things that might require a little bit of sacrifice of us, I'd love us to be thinking about this idea that God has apportioned what we need. And if we require some sacrifice, really what we're doing is we're trusting in the portion that God gave us. We're trusting that He gave us specifically what we need, and that frees us to be able to be generous and give and be gentle, be humble, and maintain that unity with one another.